Hi guys, and welcome to EverlastCyber. In today's video, we'll be going through some practice questions and answers for the Azure Fundamentals AZ900 certification exam. This video will cover questions focusing on the core concepts of cloud computing, Azure services, pricing, support, governance, security, and compliance. This video will be in a series, so don't forget to subscribe so that you'll be informed when our videos will be dropping. Now we'll be diving right into the practice questions and answers, and these will also be coming with explanations. Let's start right off with question 1. What is one point of entry that combines access to multiple resources behind it in federated identity management? A. Flow control. B. Single sign-on. C. Proxy sign-on. D. Single registration. Flow control relates to managing the rate of data flow in networking or programming, but it has nothing to do with identity management. Single sign-on, on the other hand, is a key feature of federated identity management because it allows users to log in once, and by doing so, they'll gain access to multiple applications or systems without needing to authenticate again for each one. Proxy sign-on is not a generally used term, and it's also not a standard approach used in federated identity. Single registration refers to signing up once for access, but this is not the same as single sign-on because single sign-on handles ongoing authentication. So based on these options, our answer is option B, single sign-on. That is the one point of entry that combines access to multiple resources without users having the need to authenticate for each one. It provides a single point of entry to multiple resources, and it simplifies user experience as well as improves security. Question 2. You can assign an Azure blueprint to a resource group, true or false. We'll be going with false here. Azure blueprints are assigned at the subscription level, but not at the resource level. Now, while a blueprint can contain resource groups and resources that will be deployed into those groups, the assignment itself must be to a subscription. So we can think of it as this: you assign a blueprint to a subscription, and it can create or configure resource groups within that subscription, but you don't assign it directly to a specific resource group. So based on the question, the answer is false. Question 3. The process of using several elements to identify a user or service is A. Identification. B. Authorization. C. Single sign-on. D. Multi-factor authentication. Identification is a process of claiming an identity. That is when you're entering, for instance, a username. That is identification. Authorization determines what access or permission a user has after they have been authenticated. Single sign-on allows a user to log in once, and by doing so, they have access to multiple systems without the need for re-authentication. But this doesn't involve multiple identity elements. Multi-factor authentication is the process of using two or more elements or factors in order to verify the identity of a user or service. Now, there are three factors, which are something you know, which could be a password or a PIN; something you have, which can be a phone or a smart card or even a token; and then something you are, which is the biometrics, either your fingerprints or facial recognition or retina scan. So based on the question, the best answer out of the options is option D. Multi-factor authentication uses more than one element in order to verify the identity of a user or service. Question 4. You need to collect and automatically analyze security events from Azure Active Directory. What should you use? A. Azure Sentinel. B. Azure AD Connect. C. Azure Key Vault. D. Azure Synapse Analytics. Azure Sentinel is a security information and event management and security orchestration automated response solution from Microsoft. It is designed to collect, detect, investigate, and respond to security threats across the enterprise, and this includes Azure Active Directory. Azure AD Connect is used to synchronize on-premises directories with Azure AD, but it is not used for security events collection or analysis. Azure Key Vault is a tool that is used for securely storing and managing certificates, keys, or secrets, but it's not related to event collection or analysis. The Azure Synapse Analytics is an analytics service. It's not a security tool. So the option that should be used in order to collect and analyze security events would be option A, Azure Sentinel. Sentinel can automatically collect security events from Azure Active Directory as well as other sources, and it also performs analysis using built-in AI and automate responses to detected threats. Question 5. Each Azure resource to be deployed requires a separate Azure Resource Manager template. True or false? The answer here is false. You don't need a separate Azure Resource Manager template for each resource. A single Azure Resource Manager template can define and deploy multiple Azure resources together. So you can group related resources into one template and then deploy them together in a consistent and repeatable way. Question 6. EverlastCyber is adopting a SaaS solution. In this model, which responsibility is shared between the provider and the customer? A. Application management. B. Information and data management. C. Identity and directory infrastructure management. D. Operating system updates. Application management is mostly handled by the provider. So, in a SaaS model, the cloud provider manages almost everything, and that includes infrastructure, networking, operating systems, and application. The customer is only responsible for managing their user access, configuring the application to meet their own needs, and protecting and managing their data. So the shared responsibility between the provider and the customer is just the information and data management. That is option B. The provider ensures availability, backup infrastructure, and security features, while the customer ensures proper data classification, access control, and compliance. So our answer there is option B. Question 6. You can assign an Azure policy to a virtual machine. True or false? The answer here would be true. Azure policy assignments are made at the management group, subscription, and resource group level. However, these policies applies to resources within those scopes, and that includes virtual machines. For instance, you can assign a policy at the resource group level in order to audit whether the virtual machines have specific tags or configuration. And that policy will evaluate all the other virtual machines in that group. So the answer is true. You can assign an Azure policy to a virtual machine. Question 8. Which Azure service can you use as a security information and event management solution? A. Azure Sentinel. B. Azure Cognitive Services. C. Azure Analysis Services. D. Azure Information Protection. Azure Sentinel is Microsoft's SIEM and SOAR solution. because it helps to collect security data from across the enterprise. It helps to detect threats using inbuilt AI. It also investigates suspicious activities. Azure Cognitive Services provides AI and machine learning APIs, but it doesn't provide security monitoring. Azure Analysis Services is for data modeling and analytics, but it has nothing to do with security. And Azure Information Protection helps to classify and protect documents and emails, but this is not a SIEM solution. So, based on the options, the one that you can use as a security information and event management solution is option A, Azure Sentinel. Question 9. If an Azure policy is assigned to a resource group, non-compliant resources are removed from the group. True or false? We'll be going with false here because an Azure policy does not automatically remove non-compliant resources from the resource group. Azure policies are used to audit, enforce, or deny resource configurations at deployment or during modification. So if a resource does not comply, it might be denied at creation or it can be flagged as non-compliance. So based on the question, it would be false. Question 10. What is the process of verifying a user's credentials? A. Federation. B. Authorization. C. Ticketing. D. Authentication. Federation is a method of linking identity systems across organizations. Authorization determines what a verified user is allowed to do, that is, their access and permissions. Ticketing is related to access tokens or systems like Kerberos, but it's not the core process of verifying credentials. Authentication is the process of verifying a user's credentials, and this could be either their username or their password in order to confirm their identity. So our answer here is option D, authentication. Question 11. Microsoft Office 365, Dropbox, and Gmail are examples of SaaS. True or false? The answer here is true because Microsoft Office 365, Dropbox, and Gmail are all examples of software as a service. They provide fully managed applications that is delivered over the internet without the users needing to manage infrastructure or software installation. Question 12. Which Azure storage access tier has the highest storage costs but the lowest access costs? A. Cool tier. B. Hot tier. C. Cold tier. D. Archive tier. Cool tier offers lower storage costs than hot tier, but they have a higher access costs for infrequently accessed data. Hot tier is designed for data that is accessed frequently and it has the highest storage cost but the lowest access costs. This makes it ideal for active data that requires fast and frequent access. Archive tier is the lowest storage cost, but it has very high access cost and retrieval latency because the data is rarely accessed. Cold tier is not a standard Azure storage tier, so don't get it confused with the cool tier or the archive tier. Our answer here is option B, hot tier. It has the highest storage cost but the lowest access costs. So this is ideal for active data that requires fast and frequent access. Question 13. Azure SQL Database allows users to perform patch management of database software. True or false? The answer here is false because Azure SQL Database is a platform as a service offering. In platform as a service, the provider manages patching, backups, and maintenance of the database software. Users do not perform patch management themselves. Question 14. EverlastCyber uses Azure to manage its cloud resources. As part of your security posture, you need to evaluate the secure score of your subscription and identify areas for improvement. What should you use? A. Azure Monitor. B. Microsoft Defender for Cloud. C. Help Support. D. Azure Advisor. Azure Monitor focuses on monitoring performance and health, but not security posture scoring. Microsoft Defender for Cloud provides a secure score for your Azure subscription. So, what it basically does is that it evaluates your security posture, it identifies vulnerabilities, and it gives recommendations to improve security. Help Support provides support options but not security scoring, while Azure Advisor offers best practice recommendations for performance, cost, and reliability. However, it is not focused on security scoring. The one that should be used here is option B, Microsoft Defender for Cloud, because it helps you to monitor, assess, and improve the security of your cloud resources. Question 15. You can deploy Azure Resource Manager templates by using the Azure portal. True or false? The answer here is true because you can deploy Azure Resource Manager templates directly through the Azure portal. The portal provides an interface to upload your JSON templates and deploy resources based on it. This is one of the most easiest ways to deploy Azure Resource Manager templates without using CLI or PowerShell. Question 16. EverlastCyber wants to ensure its customer experience is minimally affected by any cloud resource failure while designing a cloud solution that will be deployed on Azure Cloud. Which of the following benefits of cloud computing should the company prioritize in its design plan? A. Agility. B. Elasticity. C. Scalability. D. High availability. Agility is the ability to quickly develop and deploy services, but it does not, based on the scenario, it doesn't apply to what we have. Elasticity means automatically scaling resources up or down based on demands. Scalability is the ability to handle increasing workload by adding resources. High availability ensures that your cloud services remains operational with minimal downtime, even if some of the components fail. Based on the scenario, this will be the best possible answer. High availability focuses on reducing the impact of failures in order to provide a seamless experience for users. So, high availability is a key design goal in order to minimize customer experience disruption during failures. Question 17. You can use Azure Blueprint to grant permissions to a resource. True or false? The answer we'll be going with here is true because Azure Blueprint allows you to define and deploy a set of resources, policies, and role assignments together as a single package. So when you assign a blueprint, it can include role assignments that grants permissions to users or groups on specific resources. This helps to enforce governance and security standards consistently. Question 18. Which Azure service provides a graphical way to model business processes as a series of steps? A. Azure Functions. B. API Apps. C. Azure Logic Apps. D. Azure Service Fabric. Azure Functions are serverless compute for running code, but it doesn't show a graphical workflow for modeling business processes. API apps are used to host APIs, but it's not for process modeling. Azure Logic Apps provides a graphical, no-code, low-code designer to model and automate business processes as workflows. So with this, you can create a sequence of steps visually to integrate systems and automate tasks. Azure Service Fabric is a platform for microservices and containers, but it's not a workflow modeling tool. So the correct answer here would be option C, Azure Logic Apps. Question 19. A DNS server that runs on an Azure virtual machine is an example of platform as a service. True or false? The answer here would be false because a DNS server running on an Azure virtual machine is considered infrastructure as a service. This is because you manage the operating system, software, and configurations by yourselves. Platform as a service means that the cloud provider manages the underlying infrastructure and platform, and you, the user, you only manage the application or service. So Azure actually offers Azure DNS, and this is a platform as a service um, offering for DNS hosting. But based on the question we're asked, the answer would be false because a DNS server that runs on an Azure virtual machine is not an example of platform as a service. Rather, it is um, infrastructure as a service. Question 20. Microsoft Intune is an example of SaaS. True or false? Our answer here will be true because Microsoft Intune is a software as a solution service for device and application management. It is fully managed by Microsoft and it is delivered over the cloud, thereby allowing organizations to manage devices without managing the underlying infrastructure. This brings us to the end of the part 1 video for the Azure Fundamentals AZ900 certification exam. Don't forget to like, comment, and share, and also hit the subscribe button so you'll be informed when the part 2 video will be dropping. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.